They tinkered with genes to make plants and animals grow bigger and faster, and the Green Revolution evolved to the Gene Revolution. Greedy businessmen saw they could continue to exploit the eating habits of people. They centralized and thus controlled the production of food that humans ate. These industrialized farmers used scientists to alter nature in order to make crops cheaper so they can gain more profit. They manipulated the genes of plants to be resistant to a specific pesticide and sold this universal pesticide to ensure only their gene manipulated seeds survived. The biodiversity of foods plummeted. From the thousands of varieties of potatoes, only 4 remained. From the hundreds of varieties of apples, there remained only a few. All types of foods were reduced to a few varieties, but yields were very high and the population increased. The poor countries farmed raw food for rich countries. The rich transported, processed, packaged, marketed, and sold it back to the poor as processed food at great profit. They worked with greedy businessmen who had already centralized transportation systems in the form of roads, trains, boats, and planes. Great profits were made by moving food across the world to be processed, packaged, and moved back. The earth moaned and the rich rejoiced. Many vital components were removed from the food in the processing. Other greedy people exploited this and synthesized these vital components with chemicals to enrich foods and offered supplement for impoverished diets. Diet was later seen to be a main cause of many diseases that mankind was suffering from. Greedy businessmen saw they could exploit these sufferings by centralizing and controlling the production of chemicals to make drugs to neutralize symptoms of diseases. They made wonder miracle drugs that, despite many side effects, seemed to cure ailments. For the many side effects, they developed more drugs and convinced doctors to prescribe them and the people to demand them. About 100 years after Hitler exterminated millions of people for fear of contaminating his race, about 3 billion people were burnt in ovens for fear of contaminating all of humanity. They were exterminated in order to contain a highly deadly and highly contagious virus that during a 20-year period halved the world population from 6 billion to 3 billion. In the first 10 years, the virus killed over 1 billion people. The next 10 years, the virus was contained and an extermination program was carried out that exterminated over 2 billion people. It was considered to be the greatest pandemic in human history. The pandemic was caused by a very contagious virus that had a never before seen unique capability. If it couldn't kill the host, it would end up protecting it. The virus could only live in human stomachs. Those who survived the first bout, lasting a week, ended up stronger and carried the active virus for the rest of their lives. The virus used these survivors as launching pads to find new hosts. People serving as launching pads got protected in turn from all other known viruses. The scientists could not explain it. Some people claimed that the virus was a nanorobot, self-replicating intelligent machine programs, and set loose by extraterrestrials. The virus was the size of a few hundred atoms in a shape that filtered chemicals going to the blood. It was like a slaughterhouse conveyor belt, destroying all toxins and viruses, as well as bacteria detrimental to health. For reasons unknown, the virus killed 6 out of 7 people over a 7-day period. It decimated indiscriminately the rich and poor and the sick and healthy. The virus spread very easily via blood, sweat, and tears, saliva, and shit. A shaking of hands with an infected person was enough most of the time to come down with this virus. A kiss from someone infected was for most a kiss of death. Kissing, physical intimacy, or just having someone infected weep on your shoulders was considered a risk of a painful death too high for most. Many adopted a different lifestyle where touching or being physically too close was considered rude and disrespectful. Others, more religious, considered being infected with the virus as punishment from God for their lustful, intimate indulgences, and the 7-day battle with the disease was called Armageddon. During the dreaded battle, the skin of infected people turned red and shiny and lost all hair. They looked like dressed up Satans. They experienced excruciating pain and for a week vomited all they ate and suffered acute diarrhea. Only 1 in 7 survived, becoming potential killers to whoever they remained intimate with, but immune for life for all other harmful viruses and bacteria. The virus was discovered and studied soon after its outbreak, but to the scientists' surprise, no antibodies were ever found. The virus, as far as the body was concerned, was similar to the bacterial flora in the stomach, where most of it was found to reside. If you were lucky and survived, the virus protected you for the rest of your life.